Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome home. Welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection. And our subject for this episode is the power of trust. This is a big one. What happens when we lose trust? Can it be rebuilt? Can somebody really change? I don't know. I don't have these answers. We're going to explore this with the star of our show, Mr. Roland.friedl, who's joining us somewhere from his motorhome in Europe. Welcome to the program.
Hello, Dr. Jacalyn. Hello to our audience, wherever you're joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello.
Hello, Roland. Where in the world are you today?
I'm in the south of Austria, and I'm preparing to head to Italy. Finally.
Yes. For anyone who missed the show last week, we have a whole episode about your upcoming trip to Italy. And how long will you be there?
I'm going to spend there at least 4 months or longer. I don't know. Really no more. But tomorrow, today is my last day together with Phoenix, the cat, who was with me the last 4 years. And he will spend the winter with his mommy. So I bring it back to my ex-girlfriend. And I will go to Italy only with the dog, without the cat.
So you have joint custody of the cat?
Sorry?
You have joint custody. You share the cat?
Yeah, well, actually, it's her cat. It's actually her cat. But the cat was with me the last 4 years. It was with me 2 years in Mallorca because, the cat has been living for, I guess, 9 years, almost 10 years in a small flat in Austria. And I brought him to Mallorca and he became a hunter again, really a very good one. He was hunting every day on the property. And then he joined me on the motorhome, traveling with me through many countries. But in Sicilia, there are many wild dogs and cats strolling around. And I'm a little bit scared that he gets hurt or something has happened. So he will stay here over winter and then maybe I bring him back on the motorhome. Let's see.
Imagine the story that cat could tell. The cat could have its own show.
yeah, really. To be honest, I was thinking about it to make an old Instagram account or a blog with the cat. Yeah, I was thinking about it.
I think that'd be great. People do that. I love it.
Yeah.
So our topic today is the power of trust. You came up with this topic, and I think it's really an important one. I mean, I've got a lot of questions and some comments. Why did you want to discuss this today?
Because it was a learning for me, a learning journey in my life. I was always pushing and pushing. I was pushing for success. I was pushing for relationships. I was pushing for love. I was pushing for everything in my life until I found out, Roland, slow down, trust the process, trust the universe. And it was a game changer for me. And that's, I thought maybe we're gonna share this with our audience, and maybe it can be a game changer for somebody else too here. That's the reason.
Excellent. So you said that it's been a learning journey, and I think it has been for all of us. I think even during the pandemic, there were some opportunities to learn when it came to trust. Do you trust what's happening in your life? Do you go along with it? Do you buck the system? Do you trust your friends? Do you trust I don't know. There's a lot of things, a lot of questions that came up for me as well. And so where should we start with this topic?
Well, the point is, when you're a person that don't trust somebody else or whatever, the first question is, do you trust yourself? That's what I have to learn about myself on my journey. Do I trust myself? And yeah, that was one of my learning points, learning to trust myself, that I'm good enough like I am, of course, with all my weakness, with my strengths and weak points, with my it's not all about love and light, it's also the dark side, the shadow work we have to do. And the question is, can everybody accept himself or herself like he or she is, and trust him or herself? That's the first thing that I learned about it. Trusting yourself. That's the first thing.
Absolutely. I think that's a powerful and important point. Now, on the other side of it, and I might have shared this with you, but my father would say that I'm way too trusting. He said, you trust everyone. And that's been true. I don't know that it's that true right now, but for a lot of my life, I would believe what people would show me. And then somebody said to me, when someone shows you who they are, believe it. But I wouldn't necessarily follow along with that. I would think that they made a mistake, or they didn't mean to say that, or they meant to show up, or they were in the hospital. That's why they couldn't call. I would come up with all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, Jane, I also trust people, because the question is, we have a kind of choice. We trust people and stay positive, or we become what we call a misanthrope. We don't trust people. And I think I don't want to be a misanthrope and be negative, and that's not my approach of having a happy lifestyle. Of course, you get disappointed by people when you trust too much. This can happen, for sure. I mean, it's the self, when you fall in love, of course you can get hurt. Yeah. But this doesn't mean that I want to stay single for the rest of my life. So it's always kind of risk, It's the same thing when you go for freedom, you have to give up securities. Yeah, it's always a little bit risky, life. But what I learned in life is the reason why when I trusted people and I get disappointed is because I made the wrong decisions. And I learned something, and it was very interesting. I don't know, did you ever hear about human design reading? Did you hear about this?
No, I have not heard of this.
Human design reading. Okay. Human design reading is a kind of scientific approach to your life. So it's not astrology. I contacted a person who started this 20-something years ago. Actually, it was a gift of a friend of mine. And human design reading, so you give your birth date, an hour, and I guess the place and your full name or something like that. And this person is made a chart, and then he explained it to me in a 2-hour session. I got a better understanding about myself. And what I learned is, first of all, not push. It's about trusting the process. I will go in details a little bit later. But the second thing is I have to listen to my feelings, to my stomach, and not to my brain, to my ratio. And the point is, he told me, it was interesting because he asked me the question: when you make a decision about a relationship and business, whatever it is, yeah, and you make it from here, it's not working. You get frustrated. If you make it from your guts, from your stomach, it's working. And he said, when, for example, somebody's offering me something, a business opportunity or whatever it is, yeah, and when I say yes, it comes from my brain, and then it's not when I'm frustrated. When I say it comes from my stomach, from my feeling, from my sacral feeling, and it's working. That was interesting. So when I say yes or no, it's coming from my ratio, from my brain. It's not working. When I say it's interesting, because I am when somebody tells me something interesting, I said it's my feeling. Said yeah, that is a good decision. When I say yes, it's my ratio, my brain. And when I look back at all the years, the wrong decisions I made, or the disappointment I had in my life, it was because I had a yes and not a
So are you saying that trust is something that's logical, or is trust your intuition? So in other words, I'll give you a scenario. Based on someone's background, based on their experience, let's say you're looking to hire someone and you look at their resume and they have everything you're looking for, and you speak with them and you believe that what they say is actually true. Now you only have an hour maybe with this person, maybe bring them back a couple of times, maybe somebody else on your team meets with them, but you don't have a whole lifetime of getting to know them. So you have to make a decision about whether or not you hire them. So is that a logical decision based on what is being presented, what you're reading, or is that your gut saying, you know what, I think I can trust my gut, this guy, this girl's the one to hire?
It's a combination. It's an interesting point because tomorrow I have a coaching client, a CEO. We're gonna talk about hiring people, and because you know what normally what headhunters does or HR managers does is they're always looking at the competences of a person, the competence and the certificates they have, and the grades they have. What a CEO does when he hires directly a person is he or she's looking on results. And when I would have a conversation with somebody to hire, I don't care about certificates or competences. I only interested in, tell me, what results did you achieve with the jobs you had before? What did you do? What was the primary company goals? The secondary company? What was the issue? What was the starting point? What was the issue? How did you receive it? And why did you receive it? So for me, it's all about results. It's not performance. It's not about competence and certificates. Doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
A lot of people are very competent, but they don't get the power on the street.
Yeah, that's very true. And it reminds me, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we have one of our team members, his name is Joseph Stetter, and he actually is the resume whisperer and corporate culturalist. And he's helped over 11,000 people get placed in jobs. And anyway, one of the things he said that's really stood out for me is he'll go on LinkedIn and he's looking for a chief financial officer, and he'll just have a general conversation. I see on LinkedIn, you're a chief financial officer. Tell me about some of the work that you do in this role. And the person will start talking about it, but it's nothing specific. And then he'll ask specific questions. Well, do you do this? I didn't hear you mention that. Like, these are all things that a CFO does, but you're not even telling me that you do these things, that you don't even sound like you know what they are. This is just my paraphrasing. So the point being that a title or a degree doesn't necessarily mean that the person is a good fit.
Absolutely. As I said, it's not about the title. It's not about the certificate, the degree, or the competence of the person. The question is, what is happening in reality? Is this person successful? Is this person producing results? It's all about results. When you hire somebody for the company, you want to see results, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about after you trust someone. We can look at this from a professional standpoint and then from a personal standpoint, but you trust the person. Let's just go along with the example we've been talking about. You're going to hire someone. You hire this person. You went with your gut. You also went with logic based on what you've read and what you experienced. And the person doesn't work out. And they ask you for another chance. You know, Roland, I'm really sorry. I had this going on in my life. I had that going on. Can you give me a second chance? How do you decide if you can trust the person? Because you trusted yourself that you went along with your intuition and the logic that you made the right decision. And you know the person has had challenges. Maybe their partner walked out on them, whatever the case is, you know that they have a challenge. How do you know if you can trust them and trust yourself again in this scenario?
Well, first of all, you always have to trust in advance. You know, it's like you pay in a health in a life insurance. Hopefully, they pay the money out when you die, but you can approve it before. And the same is when you hire somebody. You have to trust in advance a little bit. When somebody is failing or some you know, there can always be some trigger, some family stuff, health issues or whatever, where a person is not performing in the beginning. There can always happen something, no doubt at all. The point is how this person is approaching me. And I said, okay, I'm sorry for that, but it will never happen again, or I will try this and this and this. So for me, it's important when somebody has issues that I always tell this person, I understand you fully, but what can you do with this issue? How can I give you? I had a lady working for me years ago, and she was always late because she had to bring her kid to school. She was a single mom, and had to bring the kid to school. I said, I understand you fully. I understand you fully. I'm with you. But what can you do from your side to organize that your kid comes safely to school on time and you're also on time on the job. Think about it. So I always give back this responsibility. The question is, for me, is a person taking responsibility? And when he or she does everything that is in her power, it's okay for me. Then I'm the last person to say, no, I'm not going to support you. But first of all, I always give responsibility back to this person and to figure out, yeah, always, because there's always a way to find a solution. But it's not me as a boss to find a solution. It's about the person who is working for me, first of all, to find a solution. And if he or she needs help, of course I'm helping. But I'm not a solution fixer. That's not my job.
I like that. It is all about finding solutions. That's what I always feel. Things do come up, things change, things are out of our control. What is the solution? And then I think also, how does the person show up? In other words, are they coming to you literally crying, sobbing, moaning, complaining? Or are they coming to you and saying, listen, I messed up. You know what? You trusted me. You gave me this opportunity and I just dropped the ball. It doesn't really matter why, but here's how I'm going to pick it up and run down the field and present a plan that makes sense. And then I feel if someone came to me with a plan, as opposed to a lot of excuses, then I'm interested. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let me hear, what is the plan? How can I help?
Absolutely. That's what I mean by playing back the responsibilities. This person coming with a plan, with her action plan, I'm fine to support it. If there are excuses, I'm sorry. Yeah. But because we all have issues, we all have challenges. Everyone is facing challenges. The question is, how are we going to handle it? How are we going to sort it out? It's up to us. It's not the company's job or the politician's job or the boss job. We have to fix it. It's our problem. We have to fix our own problems.
Absolutely. You know, one thing I have to say as the leader of this channel, this network, is that I had to learn technology. I was always interested in it, but I didn't know it like I know it today. And I found myself many times in the last 18 months getting frustrated because people can't follow the technology. They can't embrace the technology. And I realized that's my problem, that I feel that way. What can I do to help someone embrace technology? Because many times people are afraid, you know, they're afraid of doing something wrong, or even when it comes to a green screen, how many people have said that they're intimidated by it or the backgrounds that we use. So I had to find a way that I can bring value instead of being, well, if you don't do this, this, and this, then you can't be part of what we do, because that could push a lot of people away. So the point I'm making is that for the people who would come to me over and over again with the excuses after I would give them the coaching and the training, then I would think to myself, you know, I'm not going to judge, I'm going to continue to support, but this person is not coming across as looking for a solution. They're coming across as, I'm just going to sit here in my complaints and my excuses. And that doesn't work for me.
Mm. Well, you know, a coin always has two sides. And what I learned as an entrepreneur is, first of all, I was very frustrated in the beginning because I always thought that the people are working for me, or I would prefer to say with me, they don't have the same mindset, because it's my business, it's not their business. So I always thought, okay, why don't they see it? Why don't they do it? That's what I learned. Okay, it's a different mindset. That's one thing. And the second thing is, I was always, the first thing, when somebody's not performing, I was always thinking about, is this person on the right place? Maybe he or she is in the wrong place. Maybe she can do within my company a different job, have a different task or something like that. Maybe it's better. It's a better fit for this person. And then the next thing is, did I really communicate accurately, clearly, that the person exactly knows what I'm asking for, what are my expectations? I always ask myself, did I communicate clearly? And if this person is in the right place, and I communicated clearly, and this person is not performing, I say bye-bye. That's my approach. First of all, I said, okay, is this person in the right place? And the second thing is, did I communicate clearly what my expectations are? Did I communicate clearly what my expectations are? Did I make sure that the person understands what I'm expecting? Does the person exactly know how to do it? And does the person exactly know why he or she is doing it? What's their own motivation? That's my job as a leader and as a coach for my staff, is asking these three questions and have clarity for myself and for them. And if everything is clear, they are going to perform. If it's not clear, I have to maybe support them and coach them or train them. And if it's then not working, then it's if it's only about the skills and structure, it's easier to train. But if there's not the right mindset, I say bye-bye to them, because most people hire for skills and fire for attitude.
Say that again. They hire for skills and fire for
Attitude.
Attitude. I thought you said energy. Okay, attitude. Yes, that's important. Now, it seems pretty clear when it comes to business and a professional relationship, if we're able to keep the emotion out of it. And sometimes that's not really possible. We like working with so-and-so, or now we're friends with so-and-so and their spouse, and we get together and they're part of our family. But what about when it's a personal situation? It's a friend, it's a family member, it's a loved one, and we've been crossed in some way or something didn't work out. Is it possible to rebuild that trust?
Oh, good question. Man, it's depending. I'm a person. I'm a fan of a second chance, because we can always. We're not superhuman. Sometimes we make mistakes, of course. And when somebody comes to me, but by herself or by themselves, says, "Sorry, I did this and this happened to me." There can always happen something. Okay, let's find a solution to fix it. But if something happened and this person is disappearing, getting passive or escaping, or even denying, lying, and say, "No, this was not me. That was not my fault." But then I'm pissed off. And when I'm pissed off, I mean I'm pissed off. Then it's done for me. So, as I said, they can always break something. If this person comes to me and said, "I'm sorry for that. I broke it. I want to fix it. Let me know what I can do for it." I'm more than open for a second chance. If this person is not coming to me or is even lying when I approach this person, then I say, "Bye-bye, get out of my way." That's my approach.
Well,
But
thanks.
sometimes it's difficult, especially when you have an emotional dependency on somebody, especially in a relationship. It's sometimes difficult. Yeah.
Well, yes, and I appreciate that, and thanks for your transparency. And something that's coming up, which I think is also important, is if we do not trust ourselves, maybe we're coming from a place of weakness, and then we go to trust someone who already burned us once, let's say. That might not work out so well, as opposed to if we are in a good place with ourselves, if we have our self-esteem and our confidence, we've decided there are certain boundaries, things might look a little bit different as opposed to coming from a position of weakness. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. As I said in the beginning, when you don't trust other person, maybe you don't trust yourself. And maybe a different example, but many times when somebody's jealous, jealous because they think their partner might cheat on them. My experience is that the person that is jealous is mostly cheating themselves. So is cheating their partner. So they're jealous because they know they are cheating, and maybe they're afraid that their partner is cheating too. And the same is with trust. As I said, when you don't trust people, maybe people can trust you. That was my first question: is can you trust yourself? That's the first point. Are you do you have a healthy mind? Are you a good person? Do you have a good character? And when you have a good character and you're a positive person, you trust other people. That's automatically, because we want to trust other people. And if you don't trust other people, maybe it means that other people can trust you. That was the starting point. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And it brings up something that happened to me, which was really surprising. I was dating someone for a while, and they were literally in the same room with me, and they called me from their phone, and then they walked over to my phone to see what the name was on my phone. So he looked at it and he said, "Oh, okay, my name's in your phone." And I said, "What are you talking about? Why wouldn't your name be in my phone?" And he's like, "Oh, I just want," and I thought to myself later, he must have people in his phone under different names or something. Like, why would that? And so as it turned out, years later, when I wasn't with him, I had that conversation, and yeah, he would put people under fake names because he was in a relationship with someone else. So,
yeah. That's the same thing. Yeah. The point is, when you're checking somebody else's phone that you don't trust the other person, it means that you don't want that somebody's checking your phone because you have some stuff to hide. Yeah, it's always the same. It's always a mirror. It's always
Yeah,
brutal.
it's so true. I used to say this a lot, but when I was growing up and living with my parents, I would never, ever go into their wallet. I would never take the car keys without asking. I never looked at their mail. And then in relationships with guys, I never went through their wallet. Like, there's just things you don't do because people have privacy and they deserve space. But yet I know other people who go through everything. They've got to see everything, they've got to go through everything. So much work. And I think to myself, if the person's going to do something, they're going to do something, and you're just driving yourself crazy. What is it that you're doing that's causing you to have all these feelings about what they may or may not be doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, sometimes when I'm invited in a friend's home, I would never open a door or I don't know, whatever. I want to look something into. Never, ever, never, ever, never, ever. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But some people are. I don't know why, but it's an attitude, and
It
and
is.
yeah.
So, question I have for you, and I mentioned this earlier, and I'd like us just to get into it a little bit. The expression, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So, what are your feelings about this? You meet a woman and you've spent 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and you see some red flags. You feel something's a little bit off, but you say to yourself, you know what? She's attractive. I'm going to give it a chance. And she's shown you by her behavior, maybe she's looking at the phone the whole time you're talking. Something is not feeling right, but you go with it anyway. What are your thoughts?
When I was young, I made a mistake that I said, "Okay, she looks good. Give her." You don't see it, you know. You have this this rosa glasses on you. But the older I get, and the more experience I get. When I see a red flag, I'm done. To be honest, I don't want to waste any time. I'm done.
So how will
I'm
you
done.
address it? Like if she's sitting right there with you and she said, "Yeah, you're good looking. Let's get together. Why don't we get together next week and do this, that, or the other?" Do you say something direct,
Yes.
or my gut is not feeling it here right now?
Well, no, you know, I don't like ghosting. What many people do, you know, they meet the first time and then hey, let's call, and they never show up again. We call it ghosting. I don't know. They say the same in the US.
Mhm.
I don't like it. No, I'm directly said, hey, I think we don't. There's not a good fit. Maybe another man is better for you. I don't have a good feeling. I said, thanks for meeting up, and all the best for the future. Bye bye.
Now I have to say, on the other end, hearing you say that, if you, let's say you were saying that to me, I think a couple of things. The first thing I think is, what a jerk. Why was he so direct? You know, what is it about me? Is it my hair? Is it like, what is it? But the other part of me says, okay, he just saved me a lot of time. Now,
Yeah.
here's a follow-up question. If the woman said to you, okay, and I think this is important, even in business. In fact, I just did this recently. Okay, Roland, it's so hypothetically, this is not a good fit. Can you tell me why? What is it that's not working for you? I think that's a fair question, but people shy away from it. They don't want to be honest about how it is they're feeling. They just know something's off, but they don't want to tell you, "Hey, I don't like your hair. I don't like your face. I don't like the way you smell." Whatever it might be.
Okay, so when somebody's asking me for actually never ever a lady asked me for feedback when I start the conversation. But when somebody would ask me for feedback, can you tell me why? I would be honest, yeah, for sure, but not brutal honest, yeah, not brutal. I would never say to a lady that she doesn't look good or something like that. Yeah, I would never say this. Like I would just, it's not a fit, you know. It's not a fit. But the point is, well, actually, I never met, I never dated somebody who was not attractive. To be honest, that's the first thing. So I didn't have this issue, but it was something that we had different thoughts about our future, about the world, and stuff like that. And you know, when somebody is very into the material world, I say, okay, sorry, this is not my approach. Actually, I was dating somebody, I don't know, she was 30 years younger than me, beautiful girl, beautiful looking, very nice. But I said, like, let's stay friends. I'm sorry, but yeah, there's 1.5 generation in between. So I tell them, I'm not ghosting. I tell them, hey, if you want, we can stay friends. It's okay for me, but I don't want to go into a relationship because this and this. But I would never say because of how they look like. I would never say this. No, never. But
Okay,
I
now,
was never dating somebody who was not attractive.
how would it be on the receiving end? Has anyone ever said to you, and again, we're talking about trust. If somebody's really upfront and they said, Roland, I don't know, something just feels off, or I don't have time to see someone right now, how would you feel about getting the information on the other side?
Well, first of all, the point is when two people meet, or also in business, when I feel uncomfortable, my experience is that the other person is feeling it too, but maybe he or she is not aware of it, or maybe he or she is aware but doesn't want to express it. But my experience is it's all about energy. It's all about energy. When I feel uncomfortable, I know that the other person feels uncomfortable too. Maybe she's not, it's unconsciously, but she does too, or he does too. And but what happened many times to me when I addressed my uncomfortable, so I pressed my emotion without making the other person responsible for it, because it's my emotion. Okay, what I feel. What many times happened is that people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was not aware about this. Sorry, I was just distracted because this and this happened. Sorry, I will be more with you. I will listen better to you, or be more present, or something like that." And said sorry for that. Or some people said, sorry, I cannot follow you. I cannot listen to you because my head is full of other stuff. Maybe we can do another meeting. So there's always this connection between people. This is my experience. So when I express, when we talk about dating, that I don't feel comfortable, I know that the other person doesn't feel comfortable too, but maybe she's not aware of it or focusing on other thing. But when you address it politely in a nicely way, the other person gets understanding and says, yeah, it's true. It's always vice versa.
I agree, but I disagree. And I'll tell you why. Because sometimes, especially when we're younger, maybe we don't have as much experience in relationships as you and I have, we're in lust. We're just so darn attracted to the person. We're just crazy about the way they look. And even though there are all these red flags and saying, your gut's going, no, 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 you think to yourself, yes, yes, yes. And so you're not actually completely present, even. You're just in some la la land in a dream world.
Yeah, of course, because your hormones play crazy. They play rock and roll. Yeah, for sure. But but in your guts, you feel it. It's not a good decision. You know it. You know it from the beginning. But you don't. But you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen because you're in love, or you have this butterflies in your stomach, or your hormones play crazy. But you know it from the beginning. To be honest, we always know it from the beginning. Even when I was a teenager, I knew it from the beginning. Oh, fuck, this is not going to work. But she looks great. She looks attractive, or she has what you want to have, or whatever, and you go for it. And okay, no risk, no fun. But when I look back at all my relationship, I knew it from the beginning if it's going to work or not. To be honest.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think something else I really want to get our audience some information on, when we think about the power of trust, everything starts with the relationship and how we show up. And when we look at business and forming relationships, and if you think about networking, for example, networking can be in a lot of different ways. It's the same thing in a personal relationship. If you're pushing information at someone, oh, I do this, I do that, I do this, here's my information, here's my card, here's my number. It's a turnoff. You can't build that trust. You have to be present and be interested in the other person. And what I really like is a give and take relationship where I ask about you, you ask about me, and we go back and forth. But to go into something pushing, shoving information down someone's throat, I don't think that ever works. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. When you meet somebody in business or privately, and the other person is talking, never asking you a question, not interested in you, get away. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make it's same in business or in private. One of my best friends, he gave me a call last week, and he said he was dating somebody. He said, and I asked him, how was it? And I said, you know what? She was talking all the time, but she never asked me one question about my work, what I'm doing. What do you think? I said, you know it. Run away. Run away. And it's the same in business. When somebody's always talking about himself or it's herself and her business and her success, and is asking question, This is just the ego show. Run away. This is not. It's never going to be an equal partnership on on the same level. This is gonna never be. You see it. You can see it and hear it in the beginning. You see it here because somebody's talking. And you do this amazing workshops, becoming an elevator listener. It's about listening. Does this person have listening skill? Meaning listen just to understand. It's not listening to give you an answer or giving you a solution, just listening to understand you. Has this person the skills to listen, to understand you, and really wants to understand you first before he or she wants to be understood? Then it's a good start. Actually, it's one of my on my business website. It says we want to understand you first before we want to be understood by you. So it's all about it's the same. When I meet somebody for business or private, is this person willing to understand who I am? And the same is vice versa. That's the beginning of a relationship in business or private. Are we really interested to understand the other person? And are we really interested to invest the time to ask the questions and really listen?
Exactly. I love that you said that. And the other thing I want to add on to that is I just had recently, actually, someone reached out to me and said, I haven't heard from you in a long time. And I said, do you want to know why? Yeah, I want to know. Are you going to be listening? Or are you actually listening right now? Because I can tell you got something going on in the background. Yes. The reason why I stopped communicating with you is because you never asked me anything about me. What? That's how I feel. That's what I took away from it. And I feel that you are just really just one way. And I wish you the best, but it just doesn't work for me. I've got to go. Goodbye. And that was the end. And I felt really good about that because for a period of time, it was really kind of eating away at me that this person never asked me. And then I had a complete stranger ask me the other day what it is that I do. And they were actually interested. They took out their phone. They said, let me go to USA Global TV and Radio. Let me find it. Let me subscribe so I'm actually aware of what it is that you're doing. And I thought, that's unbelievable. But that meant something to me, something that's so simple to do, but yet so few people actually do it. I have people who are friends who haven't watched a single show that we've done. Unbelievable to me. How can you be my friend and not read my books? And I'm not saying you have to read every book, you have to watch every show, but if you're interested in me, this is who I am, this is what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I had an experience when I was 18, 19 years old. I went to school with a girl, and her father was running one of the largest travel agencies in Austria. And she told me, Roland, you are the only one from school that book, because at the time there was no internet. Yeah, you couldn't search for a flight or hotel, so you went to a travel agency to book your whatever you need, a hotel, flight, or whatever. And she said to me, you're the only one from school who comes back to me and book with me and buy with me. And I said, for sure. I mean, you know what? I have to spend my money on flights and hotels, so I want that somebody gets the money that I know personally. Actually, the other persons don't want this. They give the money to somebody else. I never understood this. So I always try to buy something by someone I know when he or she's offering the service or product I made. But most people don't do, especially here in Europe. And this is for me really weird. I don't understand this.
Yeah, it's very true. It's a great point that you made. Something else I want to bring up about trust, especially with all the social media that's out there. On a regular basis, I have people reach out to me via email or on YouTube. They go and they write a comment on one of the shows, or they go on LinkedIn and they write a comment. And the comment is generally something insulting. And then you need to contact me. And I think to myself, do you really think that by insulting me, I don't even know you, this is your opportunity to build a relationship with me? So, for example, they'll put, you should have more real-time viewers. Really? I should? How do you know? I mean, it doesn't matter if we have real time. The number of views is what matters. So I just delete their comment every single time because I don't want that negativity on my platform. I don't want it. But the point is, they lost their opportunity for me to even listen to what they had to say because they didn't build trust. They just decided to insult.
Yeah, the same happened to me on social media. But I'm very provocative on social media, and some people really fire me. But to be honest, I never get into. I don't block them. I don't delete them. I don't write back to them. I always send them a heart. I always send them love. That's all I do.
Well, you're a better man than I am.
It's all about that. Just saying love. The worst thing that a bad person can happen to a bad person is when you send love to them.
Yeah, that's true. Well, to me, I think it's an educational opportunity in that this is not the way that you build trust. It's not the way to network. For example, when I was in sales, I know you've been in sales different parts of your life, and we're always selling in some way or another. If I were to contact the CEO of one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies, I used to call in pharmaceuticals, and the subject was something insulting, am I going to get a reaction? Typically not. But if it's provocative, if it's thought-provoking, if it's something, have you considered blah, 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 or did you know blah, blah, blah? Yes, then I'm typically going to get an answer. So it's like if you and I were meeting on a personal level and I said, it's a shame you're not this, because then I would be interested. What you'd be like, what? Like, goodbye.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm always open for feedback. If somebody gives me feedback, meaning how I can do it better, perform better, I'm always open to it. But when somebody's only criticizing, I just ignore. I send a heart, and that's all I'm doing. It's not my job to train and coach all the people around the globe, even those I even don't know. But if somebody gives me a positive feedback, positive feedback means also not only that they love what I'm doing. Maybe they say, I don't love it, maybe you can do this and this better. And as I think about it, I say, yeah, maybe, yeah. But as you said, you should have more. I said, I thought, fuck, is this your business or my business? I just send you love. Yeah, I don't know, whatever triggers you to send me this comment, sending love to you. But.
Yes, agreed. Well, I think it's an approach that especially in social media marketing, that if you put the thought in the person's mind, in the business owner's mind, that maybe they're not doing everything that they can, that maybe you'll work with this person. And the people that we do work with came with a completely different approach. Their approach was numbers, references. This is what I can do. This is what I do.
Yeah. And the point is, with social media, everybody's firing from this anonymous from the sofa or whatever they're sitting, and it's easy for them to, I don't know, maybe they're just frustrated or whatever is going to happen, and then they send negative comments. To be honest, I give a shit on them, because it says more about them than about me. It's more about the sender than the receiver. That's what I learned. Every message says a lot about the sender. There's this joke. Two guys met, and they came across the day. One is visiting the other one the next week, and they made a date in a daytime. So this person is showing up and ringing and knocking on the door. The other person is not opening, so it's just ringing, knocking. It gets more and more angry and more aggressive. So obviously the person forgot the appointment not at home. So he gets more aggressive and hammering, no answer. And he put out a piece of paper and a pen, and he was writing down "idiot," and he nailed it on the door. And the next week they met again and said, you know what? I wasn't your home, you wasn't here. And he said, I know that you was there because you left your card.
Wow. What happened then?
That's the story, It says more about the sender than the receiver.
It's
and
so
people
true.
are not aware about this. So I don't care about it. Only thing I do is sending love. So in social media, if there's an option to send a heart, I send them a heart, and that's all that. As somebody who's always criticizing me on Facebook, and the interesting thing is that he's always watching me, always, because especially when you see it on Reels or on Stories, you always see who's watching it, even if it's not. Always. And I said, what the fuck is this person doing? What the fuck? How frustrated or boring must this life be? I always send love. Because the only thing this person needs is love and attention.
Right. That's true. It's a very good point. So I want to bring together what we've said for our audience. So when it comes to the power of trust, can you really summarize in business and in personal, what are the similarities that it takes to have trust? And then what are some areas that might be completely different?
Okay. So first of all, is ask yourself, if you don't trust somebody else, the question is, can somebody else trust you, or even are you trusting yourself? That's the first thing, to have a really deep look at yourself. What is your belief system? That's the first thing. Secondly, is when it doesn't mean in business or privately, of course, we always have to put on trust in advance. Of course, it is. We have to pay in. We never know what's going to happen. But if we believe in other people, and we listen to our guts, not to our brain, not our mind, we listen to our guts, we know exactly if we can trust the person or not. But sometimes we overgo, or how do you call it, we overcome our guts, and the ratio say, yeah, but I can make money with this person, or can get this, or this person is attractive, or whatever. The point is, you're lying to yourself. You know that it's not good, but you're hoping, or you're expecting that you gain something that is not for you, and then you fail, and then it's not the other person's fault. Maybe it's your fault, because you are pushing too much a goal, or too much to something that you want to receive that is not yours. That's my summary.
That's a good summary. I like it. Thank you. And Roland, we have pulled up one of yours. I think you have 8 websites, but your main website, let's take a look at it here. And it's in German, and it's also in English, correct?
Yes, all my websites are in 2 languages, yes.
Okay.
Because my mother language is German. Yeah.
What do you want people to know about this website? It's a very attractive website, by the way.
Thank you. It's done by Sam and his team. Well, the point is, as I have so many areas I'm working in. I have my businesses, I have my consulting, I do my men's work and stuff like that. Actually, the agency Sam came to me and said, Roland, you need one website where we summarize the 3 most important things in what you're offering. That's why we came up with this website. And from there, you can link to my business website, to Spartan Performance, to the coaching website, Wireless Life Rocks, and also to this men's works. So I have a very broad offering, and the reason for that is because I do a lot of stuff. I'm very interested in many different things, and yeah, I'm not sitting in bars many times. I don't have a TV set at home, so I don't even have Netflix or something like that. So I'm always willing to learn something, reading books, meeting new people. And meeting new people means to me not impress them about my life, but learn from them. That's my attitude. I want to always learn from people who are better than me, or already are there where I want to be. That's what I'm learning. Of course, it's sometimes nice when 2 weeks ago I was on a seminar on mostly young ladies came to me. You're such an inspiration. I said, thank you for that. But I want to be inspired by other people. That's my goal. Yeah. So here you have these 3 links. You can SPS. When you click on SPS, you come to the other website. You come to the business website. Wireless Life Rocks. You come to the coaching website. It's the coaching content is about for people who want to have the same VR lifestyle like myself, meaning being free and independent. I call it VR because most people are not used to it. So I want to have a free and independent lifestyle. And the other one is Sparing for Men. This is my platform where I do my men's work.
Outstanding. Very well done. Tell Sam congratulations.
Thank you. I will tell him.
All right, Roland, that's our show for today. Another interesting conversation with you as always.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an honor and a pleasure for me to be part of the USA Global TV radio family, because it's all about sharing and caring and connecting people. And as I said, I don't have a TV set, but I love to support this channel because it's totally different than the other.
It's funny. Just a quick comment. We have 3 TVs in this house. I just had one of them taken out because it was so old. The other one I've never turned on in years. And the third one, I just had the cable package taken down to the bare basics. So it's got, even though we're in the TV business, we're not sitting around watching traditional TV.
Yeah. I don't watch because I don't know. When I was in my teenage years, there was the Denver Clan, and I don't know what the other one. There was 2 this series from US, Denver Clan and another one. I don't remember.
You're saying Denver?
The Denver Clan, and the other one I don't know. There was two very famous series that we had on here in Europe too, and people are watching them every week or something like that. And I said, I never understood it. Why are you watching other people's life? First of all, it's not real. It's a show. But it was
Oh, the
interesting,
one like Shark Tank.
Sorry?
Something, yes, it's something Den. It's I forget. Dragon's Den.
Yeah, something like that. And it was funny because today I had a lunch with my auntie, and she was telling me about a film she saw last night on TV, and she told me like it was real. And I said, "Hey, it's a movie." He did this, did it. So people are so engaged in this stuff, and I always say, what I learned is be less impressed, but more engaged. And that's why I never watch stuff like that, because I don't want to watch other people's life. I want to design my own life and stuff like that. And then,
yeah, no, that's good. That's important, and you're doing it. So you're leaving. The next time we see you next week, you'll be in Italy.
Oh, I don't know. Hopefully, yes. But I will, to be honest, I always drive very slowly. I want to see some friends on the way. And, I have a clear route where I want to go, but I have no timetable. So I don't know how long it takes me, how long I'm going to stay. And I'm free on my time frame, but I know exactly where I want to go. So let's see. Maybe in Italy, maybe still in Austria, maybe somewhere in between. I don't know, maybe in Slovenia or something. I don't know.
Well, that's very nice. Well, wherever you are, stay safe driving. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Bye-bye, Jacalyn. Goodbye to audience. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Whether you're watching or listening on the live or the replay, we really do appreciate you. Please go over to our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV and Radio, and subscribe so that you can be aware of all of our programming. We have 42 different shows, and we offer you the opportunity to come and share your story here at USA Global TV and Radio. Go to usaglobaltv.com/book your session. Okay, let's hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be back with our next show. Bye for now.
USA Global TV and Radio, in partnership with Dr. Jacalyn LLC, present Amazon #1 best-selling author, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck is a certified life, career, and executive coach who teaches people how to listen at an elevated level through her courses and her books. Dr. Kerbeck teaches her clients how to open their hearts and express themselves through their creative genius. In her children's book series, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the listening mentor, Dr. Kerbeck teaches children and their families how to listen at an elevated level. Dr. Kerbeck has worked with clients across the world to guide them in how to express themselves and communicate at a highly effective level. Join our team of elevated listeners so you can listen without judgment, without providing a solution, without interruption, and without stealing the stage. To order your books today, go to drjacalyn.com or Amazon.
Hello everyone, I'm Simon MacDonald. I live in the West Highlands of Scotland, a very beautiful part of the world. Seems a long way from the USA Global TV station. But remember, USA Global TV is worldwide. It's a fantastic platform. And every Wednesday, I come along here as part of the show of the United Kingdom, News and Culture. And it's just like a family reunion each time. It's one of these amazing stations that has such a beautiful, friendly, and intelligent atmosphere as well. And we reach out to an audience in the most unimaginable places. And I came here, I don't know, must be over a year ago now. I was introduced by Dr. Philip Chan, and I met Ian Plum-Turner and Helena Chard, who are co-presenters on the show. And then Diane Floyd-Bem came along as well. And I mean, the five of us, Dr. Jacalyn, of course, who is our host and our mentor, has just made this show work so well. Tremendous people, lovely time we have, and we impart a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. Nothing's rehearsed. It's all done off the cuff, and it all just gels. And we get great feedback from people coming back and saying how they're enjoying the show. It's lovely to hear. And it's lovely to get that interaction from outside as well. And we're all listeners, and some of us are elevated listeners as well. So we enjoy every second of it, and we hope you do too.